Make a point of stopping by before you go to bed tonight. I need assistance cleaning my bathrooms because I cannot inhale bleach at this age. In addition, the guest plates and silverware require polishing.
Hello, Mrs. Ella. I believe there was some type of misunderstanding. David and I have just checked out of our hotel and are on our way to the airport to begin our honeymoon. We are unable to come to your home to clean your bathroom. Is this some sort of joke? Ella, are you attempting to haze us?
Oh, I never make jokes. Never, ever undercut me like that again. It does not appeal to me. As a family elder, I'm providing you instructions. All you have to do is say yes, ma'am, and come do what I say. Nowadays, there are a lot of young people. They are devoid of common sense. As the newest member of this family, I would have preferred that you take the initiative to find something to do right away. But I can let it go this time. I understand you're still on a high from your wedding. Now that you're my daughter-in-law, you're as good as my personal assistant. Don't worry about your honeymoon. I told David to cancel the flight, so stop being so foolish and come here right away.
What do you mean? You forced David to cancel our honeymoon? Why would you do such a thing? Why would David do such a thing? It wasn't just his honeymoon, it was ours as well. I even covered half of the costs. He can make the decision to cancel it on his own? Why wouldn't he talk to me first?
Obviously, because he values my wishes over yours. After all, I am his mother, you know. I carried him for 9 months, gave birth to him, and reared him for the rest of his life. He's also always been a good mama's son. He has never, ever said no to me. All I had to say to him was that I was sorry and upset to watch him go on a trip to the Bahamas when I had never even left the country. David, my lovely child, called your airline and canceled your tickets right away. He even promised to take me somewhere much nicer in the near future. He didn't tell you about it, did he? It doesn't matter. I'll be expecting you in the next 3 hours.
This is unbelievable. I have no idea what to say. I'm completely at a loss for words. I can't believe I bought into David's machismo. I would never have said yes to his proposal if I had realized he was such a mama's boy. Not to mention a first date. He makes such a big deal about how much he despises mama's boys. He used to yell at his pals whenever their mothers were mentioned. Was it all a ruse? I had a feeling something was wrong. At times, he seemed to go too far. You two are the best showman mother-son duo, aren't you? What happened to my wonderful, warm, and welcome new mother-in-law, whom I had grown to love and appreciate? She appears to have vanished as soon as the wedding vows were read.
What else can I say? I needed help around the house, and who better to ask than my daughter-in-law? You were a perfect target. I've never seen such low-hanging fruit. Especially when you're as eager to satisfy everyone you meet for the first time as you are. It was basically a no-brainer. Would you have married David if I had showed my true colors from the start? Obviously not. You wouldn't have gone on a date, as you stated. Please don't take it personally, Zelda. Everything is for the sake of this family. Plus, if you're lucky enough to have a boy, like me, you will be richly rewarded later in life when you become a mother-in-law. Isn't that something to be excited about? It's all part of the female life cycle. You are powerless to stop it. So come on over so I can start teaching you all you need to know about being a good housewife from the ground up.
Housewife classes? Is this the 1940s? I can handle things around the house just well, thank you. I don't see why I should need your help. Is your residence unique in comparison to others? Is your ship an alien craft?
Hush. You don't know the first thing about how this family operates. Each family has its own set of traditions, recipes, and regulations. I'm sure your mother had her own recipe for mashed potatoes, didn't she? Time to learn how we prepare potatoes. Now that you're a member of our family, it's your job to carry on our traditions. I'm afraid you have a long way to go.
I have eaten your potatoes. They're a little lumpy for my liking. And if you're such a stickler for family customs, why would you reveal them to an outsider like me? Why don't you schedule cooking for your moms and your dear David? I simply don't agree with the traditional way of life in which the woman is expected to perform all of the housekeeping. Those days are long gone, Ella. I went to college, like your son, and I have a job, like your son. I'm not going to come home from a long day at work to cook, clean, and coddle a guy who refuses to do anything.
Don't tell me you're going to keep your job. That is absurd. You are now a married woman. Can't you go out and work like a man? This is completely inappropriate. Your responsibilities are now at home. Be a nice wife to your spouse by bearing as many children as possible. Besides, your work doesn't pay as much as David's. What exactly are you, a secretary? I'm sure you prepare coffee and smile at coworkers. That is not work. You can always do that for me and your father-in-law right here.
I actually earn significantly more than David. I have 2 degrees from a university that is far superior to Kevin's alma mater. I'm offended by your assumption about my employment. Please do not dismiss my hard-earned position in life. I put forth a lot of effort to get to where I am now.
That's all there is to it for the time being. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm your in-law's mom. You must obey me. Hold on to every word as though it were the gospel. Did your parents teach you anything worthwhile? Stop yapping about quitting your job and coming over to my house to sit so I can teach you your place. Or else.
Thank you, but no. I'll decline. That appears to be the worst deal ever.
What? Have you gone insane? Do you not recognize the gravity of the situation? You're getting on my nerves, young missy. If you don't want to be divorced the day after your wedding, you should follow my advice.
That doesn't seem so bad now, does it? Actually, it doesn't sound too bad.
Nonsense. You have no idea what you're talking about. This is not the time to bluff. I'm not foolish, and I'm not going to fall for it. When a woman divorces, her value plummets. She's damaged beyond repair. Men truly mature like great wines. Their worth increases when they develop their own style, earn more money, amass more assets, and so on. But it's like driving a brand new automobile off the lot, ladies. When it hits the ground, it loses more than half of its value. Do you really have no concept of how the world works? Thank heavens I'm here to help you get through it all. You're quite fortunate.
I believe you are unaware of how things function. At least in this universe, in this era. For Christ's sake, it's 2022. Yes, David and I did have a wedding ceremony and celebration. Sure, we had almost 200 people there to witness our vows. But we haven't yet submitted any paperwork to City Hall. That was our plan after our honeymoon. I didn't want to cope with the tension and lines until I had done something fun and relaxed beforehand. So David and I are not legally married. Legally, we're just 2 guys who had a costly party.
What? Before the wedding, David told me you two were heading to City Hall to make it official. I'm pretty sure it was last week.
That's exactly what we were planning to do the other day. However, something urgent came up at my dreadful job, and I had to make a last-minute business trip. As a result, we had to postpone it. What a stroke of good fortune! I'm already angry about having to end things with David so soon after a large, expensive wedding. But to think I was this close to getting divorced? How wonderful. I'm sure I have some guardian angels watching over me.
That is ridiculous. Why would you not inform me? Why would David not tell me that? Look at that. I believe I was a little forceful. I may have been too anxious to welcome you into our family since my remarks came across as harsh. I really apologize. It was never my aim to frighten you or treat you as a slave. No, I would never do something like that. I would never consider it. I just feel this huge responsibility to prepare you to be the most amazing daughter-in-law ever. We went in the wrong direction. That's the end of it. Please pretend this conversation never took place. Is it necessary to inform David? He most likely planned a different itinerary for your honeymoon. He would have had a backup plan. So, shall we forgive and forget?
No, I can't simply forget. While I prefer you this way, tail between your legs, I can't pretend nothing happened today. That would be the dumbest thing to do. If I've learned anything in my short 30 years, it's that once a cheater, always a cheater. I guess you didn't cheat in this situation. But you understand what I mean. Garbage is just garbage. It's pointless to try to repair something that has already been abandoned.
Are you comparing me to a garbage can? I'm your mother-in-law, after all.
In theory, you are nothing to me. Remember? David and I do not have a legal marriage. So we're essentially nothing more than an old lady who threatened me and forced me to do hard labor. It's truly amusing. Who would do that? I'll have someone come to my apartment and pick up my belongings. Maybe I'll find someone to sublet my place so I don't have to deal with you anymore. Because you seem to make all of David's decisions, you can arrange to get his belongings out of there yourself. I'm going to get myself out of this situation.
Wait a minute, Zelda! Allow me to explain.
I had to call it quits with my would-be spouse the day after my big wedding. Of course, thanks to an emergency business trip and something called an annulment, I was able to avoid being labeled a divorce. David begged me to take him back, claiming it was all a ridiculous misunderstanding between his mother and me. Not in a million years, I said emphatically. So there I was, doing my utmost to get my life and job back on track, when Ella reached out to me again out of the blue.
Hello, Zelda. How are you doing? I couldn't stop myself. On a day like today, I felt compelled to contact you. Today is the first anniversary of your and David's marriage. Do you recall? I still look at your and David's wedding images every now and then. They never fail to put a grin on my face. You looked really stunning. And how pleased we were all that day. Huh? Zelda, it aches my heart to see you moving more and further away from us. So, what happened to us? We were on our way to being one big happy family.
Are you Mrs. Ella? You've got to be joking. You text me after a year to do what? Play victim? What is your problem? Please ignore me. I'm already tense because I'm not a fan of summer and it's above 100 degrees outdoors. In addition, I'm at work and very busy. Do you recall my pathetic job?
Oh, you haven't altered a jot. You still talk as if you want to rip someone's head off. Oh, how I had overlooked that. It's an honor. God knows women these days need some spunk. You have no idea what I had to go through after David and his father both blamed me for wrecking your marriage. They're not going to let me forget it.
Will you cry me a river? Look. I have to return to work. Goodbye.
Why don't you think about it for a while? I'm sure you'll find it in your heart to reconcile with David, don't you? You two were head over heels in love. For more than 2 years. You can't pretend that didn't happen because of an old lady's ramblings. You see, David hasn't forgotten you yet, Zelda. He no longer speaks to me because he is still upset with me. He claims you were the best thing to ever happen to him and that I ruined everything. Will you at the very least consider it? Consider it carefully.
The answer is no. I've already started dating someone else. If you're curious, his name is Leon, and I met him while on another business trip for my boring work. Of course, he is well aware of my unsuccessful first marriage. He still adores me.
You're ready to start a new serious relationship? So quickly? What do I know? I didn't think you were a tramp. To say the least, that's rather astounding. It's just been a year since you ended your relationship with my David. How did you find someone so quickly? Did you use Tinder?
That is completely absurd. Not to say there's anything wrong with Tinder, but I didn't use it. After a man-child like David, did you expect me to become a nun or something? Ella, if I were to compare you to an animal, you'd be donkeys, and my fiancé Leon and his family would be diamond unicorns. Leon's parents are incredibly wealthy, and they behave accordingly. Leon was even taken to etiquette school as a child. My future in-laws are the epitome of elegance. But you wouldn't know anything about it.
You are a silly woman. Do you think they'll be any different? How do you know they won't abandon their niceness as soon as you say I do? I'm not in the minority. My mother-in-law was also pretty strict. That's just the way things are.
I know this because I've witnessed how servers are treated in restaurants. I'm talking about 4 or 5-star restaurants here. Oh, and did I mention they bought and taught me in a 4,000 square foot lakeside house? Of course, under both our names. Besides, they already have a butler on payroll, so they won't need a daughter-in-law to do their bidding. Anyway, like I already stated, I need to get back to work. Don't ever call or text me again. Goodbye. Fortunately, Ella and the rest of Ella's family received the message loud and clear and never attempted to contact me again. I was finally able to spend my actual honeymoon with the love of my life, Leon. Italy is a really lovely country with fantastic food, music, and people. Leon's parents and sister had decorated our new house with garlands and balloons to welcome us into the family after we returned from our magical 10-day honeymoon. I wished I could have invited them all around for a small supper, but they were too preoccupied with their own lives, traveling and golfing. Leon's wonderful parents also respect our privacy and only bother us with unnecessary family gatherings around the holidays. Although I like my new in-laws as if they were my own parents, I wouldn't mind seeing them more frequently. I've finally discovered a place where I fit in. It's with Leon and Mina, our recently adopted cat. Oh, and I'm 9 weeks pregnant, which is a closely guarded secret. I'm looking forward to a future filled of optimism and wonder like never before. If this child is a boy, I promise him and myself that I will never, ever be a bad mother-in-law to his future wife.
Hey, Chloe. Is everything okay? How did your dad's funeral go? Did everything run smoothly?
Yeah. We just finished. A lot of people came, so I was happy about that. I think Dad would have been happy to see all his friends. But it would have been better if you were able to come. He would have wanted you there.
I'm really sorry, Chloe. I tried my best, but I couldn't get the day off from work. My boss was being so unreasonable. But anyway, there's something that I want to talk to you about. Is now a good time to do that?
Oh, you want to talk?
It's about the house that your dad was living in. Well, now that he's gone. And there's no one that's gonna live there now, right? I think it would be a good idea to sell that house and use that money to buy a new place. We could get a nice big place and live with my parents.
What? You want to sell my dad's house and you want us to live with your parents? I'm not sure how I feel about that, but you can't just decide that on your own.
Chloe, we can't just keep renting. We need to have our own apartment one day. And now is a good time. We should buy a house now while the market is still good.
But we never talked about it before. Like I said, that isn't something that only you got to decide.
But it involves my parents. As their only child, I get to decide what we do for them.
Sure, but I gotta stay in my own house. Besides, you're talking about my dad's house.
Yeah. Both of your parents are dead now. My parents are still alive and I want to spend as much time with them as I can.
Don't you know what you're talking about, Joe? You're talking about selling childhood home here. At the very least, you could have considered moving your parents in there first. Why do we have to sell it and buy a new place? You don't even want to get another house but an apartment. Is that even good for our future?
I said I wanted to live with my parents. Your dad's house is big enough and it's nice, but the location is very inconvenient. It's too far from work. We can buy an apartment closer to the city. And it'll be big enough for my parents to live with us too. Doesn't that sound good? Just wait and see. You'll come around too.
But what about me and what I want?
What's wrong with living with my parents? Like they say, the more the merrier.
God, I'm so disappointed. I didn't think that you would be this self-centered.
What? How dare you? This is all your fault anyway. You're the one that insists on working when I want you to stay home.
What?
My parents have been pestering me about getting a divorce. They don't like the fact that you haven't been taking good care of me.
Really? You mean that women belong in the house and not outside working? What kind of backroad 1950s thinking is that? Your job doesn't pay that well in the first place. There's no way we could survive on your salary alone. I work so that I can support this family. I never said that I quit working after I got married in the first place. No one does that anymore, Joe.
Don't talk back to me. Are you forgetting I'm the one that has the deed for your father's house?
What? How did you get it?
Yeah, I do. It doesn't matter what you say or how much you protest. My word is final. If you keep quiet and just do as I say, then I'll let you live with us. Do you understand? But if not, then you better pack your things and leave right now. I'm not going to put up with your behavior.
Wait a minute! We need to talk about this.
I see how it is. You've made your choice. I don't want to hear another word from you. I'm going to buy a high-rise apartment for my parents. And I have already decided on this. Don't you dare get in my way.
There's something wrong with you? You're not the person that I married. I'm sure you didn't really think about this in the long term.
There's nothing to think about. Everything is going to go smoothly and it's going to be great. If you don't like my plan, then you can leave. That's going to be great for me. I can finally be released from being shackled to you. This marriage is a shame.
I see that your true colors are finally showing.
Hey, I need to tell you this. I'm so happy now.
What's wrong, Joe?
I got quite a large sum of money from selling your father's house. It's more than enough for my apartment. My parents are in there now. So if you don't like it, then you can get a divorce and leave us alone.
Okay. I'll file for a divorce today.
Really? What's a nice thing ever?
I'll have all the papers ready soon. But don't weigh me for whatever happens next.
What happens next? Nothing's gonna happen. I'm gonna be living my life without you. You're just a loser.
Right. Hey! Aren't you talking more? Joe.
What, Chloe? What are these people and what are they doing in my home?
I have no idea. What do you mean?
They all came here suddenly and demanded that I open the door. You must have something to do with this. You better tell me the truth.
Not me. But to be precise, it's my brother.
Brother? You have 10 brothers?
I said brother, so just one. You've met Peter before. Why are you playing stupid? I don't think you've met his friends though.
What on earth? You are responsible. I don't even care about the details. Just make them go away.
I can't do that. Those people have it in for you. They were planning on living in that house that you sold without our permission.
What?
They lost their home, so they decided to go to you. After all, you did use that money to buy the apartment. It makes sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense. What is wrong with your brother? It's so odd because even though they invaded this place, they were all so polite about it. I thought that they would be rude.
What? They aren't being rude?
No, they just made a pot of coffee. And they're just sitting in the living room. I don't have time for any of this. I need to leave, but I can't just let them be here. You need to do something.
Why did you tell me that? You can call the police instead. They're trespassing, aren't they? There's good reason for the police to come.
Well, I can't really.
If you told the police, they'll have the authority to do something about it. You better do it quick if you have to go.
No, I can't.
Oh, you can't. Because if you did, you'd have to explain to the police that you stole that deed from me and sold that house without my permission. You'll be the one they arrest for theft.
I'm not a thief. You agreed that I could do it.
I don't remember agreeing with you about anything. Besides, you don't have anything in writing. You stole the deed from the safe that was in the house. You didn't even hire a real estate agent to help you do things legally. You did that without any written consent from me or my father's lawyer.
Well, I thought that no one would notice.
Right, you got the combination to the safe and just took it. My brother was supposed to live in that house. It was left for him, but you stole that from him. So of course you can't call the police. They'll know what you did. They wouldn't even have to investigate that long.
Shut up, Chloe! You're being annoying.
One more thing. You said that you were gonna live there with your parents, but they aren't there. Who's that young woman staying there instead?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Don't play dumb. Did you forget already my brother's there? He told me about her. Who is that young and beautiful woman? Just tell me. Who's staying with you can't be your mother.
She's the maid. I hired her not long before. You're not here to clean and stuff, so I had to hire someone to do that.
So you're sharing the bedroom with your maid.
I'm not that stupid.
You've been cheating on me. I thought you couldn't get any lower, but here you are at rock bottom.
No, I haven't been cheating. This isn't fair.
Since when do you care about playing fair? You want a divorce because you want to be with her? That's why you kept on pushing for one. That was your plan all along. On top of all that, you used your parents as an excuse. Not only are you a cheater, but you're also spineless. How did I not see it?
Wait! You've got it all wrong.
Oh. Care to explain then? How I get it wrong? Which part of what I said is wrong? You bought that apartment to impress her, right? You thought that she wouldn't be able to refuse your proposal if it came with a high-rise apartment.
What? How did you know that?
Your girlfriend told Peter everything. She wasn't shy about hiding it. Did you think that she wouldn't get back to me somehow? And apparently she's an escort? Is that how you met her? You thought that you'd be able to impress her if you got her a high-rise apartment?
No. Not really.
Then tell me.
Well, you're actually right, but please, this is getting embarrassing. Please forgive me.
Out of all the things that you've done, cheating on me with an escort isn't the worst. I will forgive you, but only on one condition.
What?
You need to give Peter that apartment.
No way, I can't do that.
Fine, then I'll go to the police about this. And I'll tell your company too.
No, you can't do that. We can settle this some other way, but I can't give away the apartment. If I do that, I won't be able to afford alimony or any divorce settlement. You understand that, right?
I definitely know that you can't afford to pay anything. Your salary is way too low. Even with my father's house as down payment, the monthly mortgage for the condo will eat up most of your paycheck. You make even less than I do, and that's what you can't stand, right? Even though my income was what helped you sustain a reasonably good lifestyle, you couldn't stand the fact that a woman made more than you. You're just a small man.
Fine, I admit it. It was my fault. I acted on my impulses. Please, I'm desperate here. I can't give up my house. I'll have nowhere to go.
I'm sure you'll be able to find a closet or a couch somewhere.
I just moved, Chloe. I can't afford to do that all over again. I don't have money for security deposits and all that now. I bought her so many things. I'm up to my eyeballs in credit card bills. I don't have any money.
I know why you're telling me all this. What's your point?
Let's start over, Chloe. Let's pretend that this never happened and start again. We'll cancel the divorce. Everything was my fault. And I'm sorry, but we can still get back together. It'll be great.
You must have hit your head somewhere. That is the dumbest idea I've ever heard. I don't ever want to get back together with you. You and that escort of yours need to get out and find some other place to live.
If she finds out the truth, she'll leave me for sure. She thinks that I'm single. That was what I told her.
How lucky for you that she believed you without any doubts.
I can see that this is going nowhere.
That's right. The only one going anywhere is you and your girlfriend getting out of that house. And by the way, I told your parents everything you've been up to already. So that you don't have to.
What?
Your mom and dad are very unhappy with you. They were so surprised to find out that they had co-signed on the lease. They could be charged with accessory if we press charges. They're also very disappointed that you cheated on me with some escort and bought a house that was beyond your means. You can't seem to stop making such stupid choices. They're ashamed to have you as their son.
You cornered me, Chloe. I can't even go to my parents for help now. God! What am I supposed to do now? I can't go anywhere.
That sounds like a you problem. It has nothing to do with me. The only thing I want you to do is get out of that house as soon as possible.
Wait! You need to give me more time. I need to think about this.
No. You don't have any time left. Just get out. If you don't, I'm gonna start telling everyone else. And there's going to be real consequences to pay if you lose that job. Then you really won't have anything left.
Okay. I'll leave. Just please don't tell my company about this.
I won't as long as you move out of there.
You should keep your word. Chloe!
Don't say anything. Hurry up. After that, Joe moved out of the apartment. Then he stayed in a motel for a while but soon ran out of money. The court recognized that our marriage ended because he cheated on me. So he was ordered to pay a little extra in alimony. Of course, I wasn't gonna let him off that easily. I sent an email to his boss. The company normally didn't want to get involved in scandals. Joe was fired not long after that. So now I can start a new life with no attachments with what happened in the past.
I will embark on a business journey next Saturday.
What? Next Saturday? But next week is Christmas.
Oh. I am bound by work and have no control over the situation. I suppose that undertaking a work-related excursion during Christmas is a facet of adulthood.
Is there any possibility for you to attempt rescheduling the trip?
Huh? What are you saying? There's no way I can do that. You know this is my job, right?
I understand. However, this is our inaugural Christmas celebration since our marriage. Didn't I previously express my eagerness to spend this occasion together with you?
You said that?
I did, but maybe you weren't listening. And, do you remember that my birthday isn't Christmas?
Oh, yeah. It's unfortunate that your birthday coincides with Christmas.
It's not about that. So you want to celebrate our first Christmas after getting married and my birthday separately? Due to your recent excessive overtime work. It just feels like we haven't been spending much time together lately. Sometimes I wonder if getting married was the right decision.
You do? How come? Things should be fine. Being busy at work is a good thing.
Yeah, it is, but... Is this really about work?
Huh?
Before getting married, you rarely ever had to work overtime. And you never had to go on business trips. I've been wondering lately if you're truly that busy every day at work. So I actually went to your office the other day.
What? When did this happen? You better not have said anything weird at my work.
I didn't say anything. Your office building's lights were off. You said that you were working overtime, so that confused me. It seemed like no one was there doing overtime work.
You know staying at the company isn't the only form of overtime work. I have to go out to dinner and hang out with my coworkers. Because of this, of course, we have to leave the office from time to time.
You count that as working overtime?
Of course, don't make things complicated. Regardless, my work trip has already been decided. So stop nagging me about it.
Why do you have to go on a business trip? Can't you get someone to take your place?
There's no way I can do that. I can't be so irresponsible. My status in the company is getting higher, so I have more responsibility now. That's why, of course, I have to work overtime more often now and go on business trips more frequently. So you have no right to complain.
I wasn't meaning to complain.
Well, this is how it is. I'll be working late tonight, so take care of things at home.
Huh? Today too? Okay, that's fine. But try not to work too late.
Andy, there's something that I was meaning to give you during the holidays. I received a lot of gifts, so can I go over to give them to you?
Thank you so much. I feel bad for you having to come all the way over there, so I'll go to you. What time works best for you?
Is that okay? If it's okay with you, why don't you come over when Mile has time? He's free on weekends, right?
Actually, Mile will be going on a business trip this weekend. He's been pretty busy lately, so I can just go over alone to pick up the gifts.
What? A business trip? But next week is Christmas, and isn't it your birthday?
Thank you for remembering. Yeah, it is, but it seems like he has to go on a business trip. It's his work, so nothing can be done about it.
If it was work. But hopefully he can make up for it before and after the trip. I'm sorry about my son.
You don't have to apologize. And it's his work, so I totally understand there's nothing that can be done about the situation. Don't worry about it.
I can't believe he's leaving you alone even with all the snow lately, and you're not used to this sort of climate. Are you okay with removing all the snow and driving through the snow?
I think it's fine since there's rotating in front of our house. I'm still practicing my driving.
Okay. I'm a little worried about you. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. Bye.
Of course. I'm looking forward to it as well. Thank you for messaging me. About your business trip tomorrow, is it really a business trip?
What? You're bringing this up again? How many times do you need to get an answer until you're satisfied? Can you get yourself together?
You are the one who should get it together.
Huh?
I already know that it's not actually a business trip. I met with your coworker, Mr. Tom, and asked about it.
You asked Mr. Tom? Are you for real? Why would you do that?
He told me everything. He said that work has been slow lately, so everyone leaves the office on time. He also said there's no way that you would be going on a business trip.
I hope you didn't say anything you shouldn't have.
All I did was ask if you were actually going on a business trip. He probably doesn't know that you've been lying to me.
That's relief. Now, don't say anything stupid. It'd be embarrassing if anyone from work found out.
So that means you're doing something shameful. Where have you been going and with whom?
You're so annoying. Fine. I'll tell you. I'm going with a friend on a relaxing vacation. Is that what you wanted to hear?
You're going on a vacation with your friend on my birthday? Does this friend a girl?
Why should gender matter? We couldn't line up our schedule on another date, so it had to be that day.
The fact that you thought you were free that day is ridiculous. It's your wife's birthday.
You're already past 30, so don't worry so much about birthdays.
Don't go.
Huh?
You need to rethink things.
You really need to get yourself sorted out. How am I supposed to cancel the day before? Stop saying stupid stuff and messing around. Why don't you try being good at home? I'll be getting home late, so sleep on your own. Bye.
Please come home. We need to talk about this.
Even though I came home late and tired yesterday, you were super loud. You need to reevaluate your behavior. Have fun with your birthday. Be careful not to freeze.
What are you talking about?
I'm off to the resort. See ya. I'm going to have fun. Have fun in these next few cold nights.
What do you mean cold nights?
I'll be gone tomorrow, so stay put. I'm gonna go have fun at the resort.
A resort sounds impressive. I'm so tired of you. Just do whatever you want.
I'll be visiting your house now, Andy. I'm heading over by car. The snow is really bad, so I took a quick break at the gas station. Things seem to be getting better, so I'll head over now. I'm sorry for running late. Hey, Andy, where are you now? Your husband says he doesn't know where you went. Were you not planning on meeting for today? I apologize if I was mistaken.
What the heck is going on?
Huh? What?
Why would you do this? Hey, what the? My mom is freezing to death. Why did my mom go to the storage room? Call an ambulance now.
This is all your fault.
What?
So this is how it is. I just called an ambulance. Your father and I will head over there now.
Huh? You're with my dad? Why are you with him? What's going on? And what happened to my mom? This is not good.
Stop playing stupid games.
Huh?
You were planning on trapping me in the storage room, weren't you? I get it now.
Yeah, so why is my mom in there?
You wanted me to get trapped in the storage room while you go to a resort with some girl. You're a piece of trash. You're the one who got your mom trapped.
Yeah, but why?
How should I know? I was planning on meeting with your mom. I was just heading over to her house, so I have no idea what happened. But your mom probably knew that since I'm not used to driving in the snow. Maybe she tried coming to me.
But then why is she in the storage room?
I don't know, but why does that matter? Do you understand what you've done? You went on vacation to cheat on me and come home. To find that your mother is freezing in the storage room and now you're upset at the fact that it wasn't me? I really wish this was a joke. Your father and I have been looking for your mother since yesterday.
What? Since yesterday?
Of course, why wouldn't we? I wasn't able to meet her even though we had agreed up on doing so. And your father said that he had no idea where your mother went. We were about to ask the police to search for her.
You're lying! This can't be true!
It's obviously true.
I had mistaken her for you.
Oh, so you'd be fine with me getting frostbite?
No, I never expected it to last this long. I expected that you would find a way out. I didn't want you to complain about me leaving. So I was gonna trap you for a little bit of time.
Only a little bit? Ha! It makes me sick that you openly admit that your original plan was to trap me. You don't care about my well-being whatsoever. You should have just straight up told me you wanted a divorce.
Huh? But I wasn't thinking about divorce.
Are you kidding me?
It's my fault for cheating on you, but it was just for fun. I never planned on divorcing you.
You leave your wife alone on her birthday to go on vacation with some other girl. And yet you say that you had no intentions of getting a divorce. Stop messing around. In reality, you actively tried putting me in danger by trapping me in the storage room.
I'm telling you that's not what I intended. I just wanted to play a little prank on you, okay?
That's not okay, you piece of trash. I don't want to hear it anymore and don't come to the hospital.
But
Your dad is really mad at you.
can I go to the hospital too? Is Mom Oak? Is Dad still mad?
Do not come to the hospital. If you come, you'll be punched by your dad.
Why is he so mad?
Isn't it obvious? His son sent his own mother to the hospital.
But I'm telling you I didn't mean to.
Your mother barely made it.
What a relief! I was so on edge thinking that something had happened to her. Now things can get back to normal. Let's make peace.
Huh? You're joking, right?
What?
Your mom is totally mad and saying that she wants to break off ties with you.
Huh? Break off ties?
And I want a divorce. I've already told your parents.
A divorce? Are you being serious right now?
Obviously. Think about what you've done. I caught you cheating, and now we are getting divorced. You'll have to pay for the damages. After all, you knowingly took a risk to do this.
No, I didn't. I didn't even think too hard about what I was doing. Breaking off ties, getting a divorce, please just stop all this. I just wanted to have a little fun.
Your version of having a little fun is trapping people in storage rooms? You are sick?
No, Andy, you love me, right? Divorce isn't realistic.
You've become the person I hate most in this world. I hate you even more than those bullies from middle school. I don't want to see your face anymore. I'm leaving you. Your mom doesn't want to see you anymore either. Do you understand that you've lost your whole family now?
Did I really do something that bad?
How have you not realized? The price you pay for your little fun is pretty big? After that, Andy paid no attention to Mile. Mile visited the hospital and sought his family's forgiveness. However, his parents remained unconvinced, leading to the finalization of their divorce. They made the declaration that they would be cutting ties with him. He was compelled to compensate for the losses, and his partner, along with his romantic involvement, abandoned him. All he had remaining was a mountain of debt in a vacant house, as a result of the repercussions from his reckless affair. Were beyond his capacity to manage.
How are you feeling right now, Henry? Were you shocked by what we were doing together? Of course, you were. How could you not be? I bet you'll be traumatized for life from the scene you just stumbled into.
No, It's not Lucy. I just left there because I was disappointed in you. It would take a lot more than that to really shock me. Besides, I knew you were gonna be there from the beginning anyway. That's why I went out of my way to go home at this time. So I could catch you in the act along with him. I just wanted to see it with my own 2 eyes.
Oh. That makes a lot of sense now. I was thinking maybe you were finally catching on to what was actually going on. I thought today might be the day you finally figured it out and tried to confront me. But I also wondered how long it was going to take you to notice. You did come home earlier than usual today too. Turns out you really did plan this whole thing so you can burst in on us so you could finally feel better about your nagging little suspicions. That is so lame of you. I bet that small feeling of victory has passed now and you're feeling pretty terrible about finding out the truth. But anyway, that's unfortunate for you. Because I'm all ready to divorce you. I don't even care even though you saw us together. I was going to leave you for him sooner or later anyway. All you did was speed up the process for us. So actually, thank you for that. We are forever in your debt. I won't forget your sacrifice.
Well, that figures, I guess. Even though I caught you 2 red-handed, you have a real calm attitude about all of this. And you were clearly intentionally getting real dirty with him in front of me. You rub salt in the wound, Lucy. No doubt, you're really rotten to your core. I'm not sure how you managed to walk around without falling apart, the festering pile of garbage that you are. Not sure you even have enough empathy to be called a human.
Hey, that sounds a little bit harsh.
Well, the one you cheated on me with was your coworker, right? And his name is Corn.
Oh, you even know all that as well. You are indeed little stalker, Henry. Okay, if you know that much I'll tell you. We had been working with each other before officially dating.
Whatever, it's now my problem anymore.
How cold can you be? We are husband and wife, you know. Sworn to stay together for better or worse. Well, jokes aside, maybe that's only natural. You don't want a romantic novel-length story about the man who stole your wife off you, do you?
Well, honestly, not at all. How could I get interested about something so stupid and vapid? But anyway. When I saw it all happen in person today, it went a long way towards me making up my mind. So now I can just ask this favor of you without any hesitation whatsoever. Please divorce me as soon as you can.
Oh, where does such a sudden and strong conviction come from? Well, I can't say that I expected that from you. Perhaps you expected something different from our little conversation.
What do you mean by expecting something different, exactly?
Maybe you want me to beg you not to go or something like that. What a pity though, it wasn't all soppy and sentimental like you expected. The truth is, I was just itching to drop you as soon as I possibly could.
Oh, that's not what I expected at all. I'm not naive enough to think that someone who betrayed my trust would just roll over and one-sidedly apologize. But I must admit, I did think you were gonna maybe panic a little more. You seemed almost too calm for someone who was in your situation. You might even say that you looked so confident. It was as if you played that scenario of me catching you in your head beforehand.
Well, what a pity for you in that case. Well, looking back on it, maybe I didn't know you so well as I thought I did, after all. Well, these things can't be helped. Love is full of mysteries and surprises like this, isn't it? Because I fell in love with my dear Corn instead of you.
Yeah, I could tell. I wonder what gave it away.
I will divorce you, then marry him. Oh, it sure sucks to be you, Henry.
I don't really care.
What is it, Henry? Are you upset with me? I bet you're going through a whole relationship in your head, trying to figure out where it all went wrong, huh? The truth is, it was just never meant to be between the two of us.
No, I'm not mad at you.
You're putting on a tough act. You can barely hold back that floodgate full of tears, right? You scratch that. You probably actually are already crying. I can picture your scrunched up face right now. Your phone screen all drenched with your own tears. Well, I'm more than happy with getting that divorce. It's just a little bit earlier than planned is all, but it still suits me just fine to be honest. I've already filled in and signed the divorce papers ahead of time. All I need to do is to pick them up and sign them whenever you want.
You already have the paper signed and ready?
Of course, Henry. Come get them from me whenever you have the time for it. But today might not be the best day for you to come. I and Corn are busy with some stuffs. You might see the two of us together again.
Agreed with that. I don't want to see something so disgusting again.
Especially not twice in the same day. Excuse me? Who are you calling disgusting? Do you want to repeat what you just said to me?
I think you can work out who it was. This should be an elementary problem even for you. You and that guy are the only people I would be referring to right now. What I'm saying is, you're both disgusting creatures. From what you're both doing, to the way you think about this whole sickening affair, even your evil, dumb grinning faces, every single thing about you and him are completely and utterly nauseating and disgusting. All I ask is that you don't ever show that disgusting face in front of me. Ever again. Tell your lover the same thing for me, that would be great.
You're so annoying. You're making me so mad now. You always have to get the last word in like that, don't you? I'll bung all your stuff in a box and get it all the way to your parents' house.
You never seeks to amaze me, Lucy. How slow you are. All my things are no longer there at the house. Don't tell me that you didn't even notice that. Just how busy are the two of you holed up in that room? Never mind, you don't have to answer that. I would much rather not have to throw up where I am at the moment.
What? All your stuffs are with you already? So you don't need to come back for it anymore?
Right, Lucy. There's not a hint of remorse from you. You should hardly be surprised that I did that. Did you really think that I would just go crashing the crime scene without thinking up a single plan just in case my gut feelings were right? Well, you always have been short-sighted in your planning like that. I mean, it seems like you really didn't think through any of what you just did. You think that if you just get that divorce from me, everything will be done and dusted, don't you? That you can just ride off into the sunset in your honeymoon carriage, and the two of you will live happily forever after? Real life isn't so black and white, you know. Even if this was a fairy tale, a vile, wicked, petty witch like you would ever be the poor mistreated heroine.
But that's all? I literally just divorced you and get married to Corn. It's not illegal to get divorced or cheat on your partner. What could possibly go wrong for us at this point?
But anyway, my point is, if you want things to go your way, you need more of a plan than just love. That's not the attitude of a person who just had a secret affair and betrayed her husband. Not even an attempt to apologize to me?
Why should I need to apologize? I told you already, didn't I? I was ready to get a divorce already. I don't need your forgiveness or your permission to marry him.
Look, Lucy. It doesn't matter at all if you were already planning for years to get a divorce or anything like that. Do you understand that you didn't simply just have an affair? You broke some major rules here if this marriage were a major sports match. You didn't just unintentionally accidentally step on the opponent's foot. You may as well have tried to pull out a knife and stab another player. In full view of the ref, the audience, and the cameras for the whole world to see.
Rules in a marriage? Are you my father, Henry? This is why I'm getting rid of you. Anyway, all is fair in love and war.
I mean, all I'm trying to say here is you're free to behave as idiotically and recklessly as you like, but you're taking some huge risks, so that means you have to be prepared to face some big consequences for you and him.
What on earth are you talking about? Did this shock of what you saw earlier send you stupid? What risk could you possibly be talking about here? You mean the risk of getting caught in the act of cheating? Like some perverted producer trying to do us dirty for some crass prank TV show? You sound like a petulant child trying to scare me with something so pointless. Interesting though, but that's a risk I can live with. It's already past anyway.
Are you being serious right now? You really think that's the risk I was talking about? Is me showing up suddenly such a huge risk that I would feel the need to warn you about it? Even though it's already happened and you don't have to worry about it in the future anymore, like I explained? I want you to really work those brain cells and think hard about this one before you answer.
What? Am I wrong about that? If not, what is this terrible risk that you warned me about? Why don't you stop prophesying in riddles though, and just spit out your great wisdom straight to me? Just get a divorce and it's all over between us, right? You even said yourself that you don't want to ever hear from me again, so even you seem to agree with me. Well, I guess my mom and dad would be pretty mad at me though. So I might get chewed out a bit, but that should really be it for me after that.
Okay, whatever. I think that's enough giving advice to my cheating wife who I'm soon divorcing anyway.
What? You're done already? But you still haven't answered my question.
You should really pay me if you're gonna keep consulting me like a lawyer. But we both know you're not about to hire me as your attorney. So with that said, let's end this pointless discussion and call it a day.
What do you mean pointless discussion?
Like I said, end of discussion.
This is getting too tiresome and repetitive. Only because you're just dancing around the issues. Just tell me directly.
I feel like an idiot for talking to you so seriously about this. You were never going to understand the point I was making anyway. But on the bright side, you will find out what I mean soon enough.
Hey, stop it. You're making a fool out of me, aren't you? See, this is exactly the kind of attitude of yours that really annoys me. There's no wonder why your woman is leaving you.
I have never once made a fool out of you. But today you have proved over and over again that you're plenty capable enough of making a ginormous fool out of yourself without any help from me whatsoever.
See, you just did it again. You made a fool out of me again. You know you just did, like all the times you did before. There's no denying it with your attitude and those words that clearly show how much you look down on me.
Lucy, are we done yet? That's enough lip from you.
Either way, I would be better off divorcing you than languishing in some loveless marriage anymore. I don't even want to be in anymore. You're the one who will lose in all of this. You might be making fun of me now, but I am the one who will have the last laugh.
Better off without me, huh? If divorcing me would only have upsides for you, that's all fine and well, isn't it? You might as well go ahead with the proceedings then, the sooner the better. So you'll be leaving the house pretty soon.
Why would I do that? Are you dumb or something? Why do I need to leave my own house?
That house is mine, Lucy. Did you seriously forget that I bought that property when I was single, before I met you? I bought it under my name, so I am the legal owner of that house you're squatting in right now.
Then hand the house over to me.
Quit screwing around to get out of there, you jerk. Besides, I was planning to sell that place soon anyway.
So what? I don't care about that. It would be a waste to sell that house to someone else. I'm fine if you would just give it to me instead, a stranger whom you don't owe anything to. Now that would work real good from my perspective.
Well, but that's just a complete lose situation for me. Why on earth would I waste my house on you? You don't have the right to decide. I'll be heading back to my parents' house soon. I'll stay there for a little while until this all blows over.
Do whatever, Henry. Don't you ever bother two of us though. You're a lonely single loser.
Anyway, it doesn't matter what you say or do at this point. Regardless of what you think, what I'm expecting will probably happen, exactly the way I think it will. I hope the two of you have a happy life together.
Yeah, I'm not so stupid that I can't detect sarcasm. Then goodbye, Henry. We probably never speak to each other again. Long time no see, Henry. You stingy excuse of a man who cried and claims compensation for emotional damages just because you were cheated on a little. I bet your life is just going perfect without me, isn't it? What are you doing right now? Hey, are you ignoring my texts? You're still not man enough to talk to me.
Who's this?
What? You deleted my number?
Oh, that's Lucy, right?
Yeah, it's me.
So what's wrong? What does this conversation mean? Do you really think I was insulting you somehow? I'm not sure what I did to badmouth you exactly. But there was no point in me being so polite or apologizing to you for insulting you.
You're really an awful guy. Do you think other people usually forget their ex-wife's phone number?
To be honest, I couldn't care less about you. That's how I forgot it was you all this time.
Oh, I've had enough of you. Anyway, I actually need to ask you this time. You still haven't submitted those divorce papers yet?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Lucy.
Don't play dumb, Henry. You know perfectly well what I mean. I'm talking about the divorce papers for the divorce between you and I. And you haven't formally submitted them to the city hall, have you?
I don't know why you feel the need to ask this question. I officially filed for divorce a long time ago. Didn't you get any of the letters from my lawyer?
Are you sure that isn't illegal?
What? I really still don't get what you're trying to get. It's like a return to a horror novel I put down years ago because I was too scared. You're honestly giving me the creeps.
Don't blame me just because you're the ignorant one, Henry. Don't tell me you really don't know such basic stuff. Divorce formalization is something that a married couple is required to go and submit together. You can't get a divorce finalized if it's only done by one person without the other.
Right, I'll come clean to you. I know the law well enough though. The reason why I put off formalization is that I need to handle my asset.
What? Apart from the old house, you have anything else?
Actually a big yes. I have saved up $1 million in the bank.
Really? How can you do that?
It's none of your business. And I have to change the owner of that money to my mom during our marriage. So that the official won't be suspicious of me. Or that means I don't need to list that money into paper. I don't want her to get a cent from me, on purpose or by accident.
Why don't you tell me that, Henry? I will never leave you.
Huh. Stop being a gold digger. So I've given the paper to the hall this morning. All you should do is to wait for the official inform.
You. Is that your all plan?
You don't need to know. By now. A few minutes after that unfortunate conversation, Lucy trudged off somewhere. Since then I haven't seen her in my sight. Thankfully I don't have a clue what she's doing now because she wanders around without a fixed address. No one seems to know anything about her or what she's doing anyway. Yeah, now that the money's sorted, I really couldn't care less about her anymore. Blocked her from my phone so I will probably never hear from her ever again. That would be just wonderful.